Hello friends, welcome back to our study group. 1st April 1936, Utkal was founded, Odisha was founded. You know, there was a long struggle behind this particular day. There was the contribution. When we will be doing our main classes, we will be delving deep into it. Maharada Kutcha Chandra Gajapati, Madhu Barrister, Gopabandhu Das, and so many people have contributed significantly because Odisha was fragmented in different parts of India. Some portion was there with Andhra Pradesh, means Madras, and some portion was there with the Bengal province, some portion with the Bihar province. This kind of a thing was there, and some with the central province. So it was totally fragmented, and our freedom fighters, especially our Odisha's nationalistic leaders, they contributed significantly in order to unite the entire state of Odisha. So this was the day in which we can cherish, we can remember their contribution towards our nation, towards our state building, and we can say that no, we are proud that they have done significantly well, but it is our responsibility to take Odisha's glory to the next level. That is my particular perspective. Whatever Odisha is today, it is a deplorable condition right now. If we really want to make Odisha of our dreams, we have to be in our peak performance. We have to make this particular state one of the best states in India. And you people can make it happen as a bureaucrat by contributing to socio-economic progress of the state. So let's start today's discussion. Today's discussion will be on economics specially. There are two parts in economics. One is static portion and second one is dynamic portion. You cannot neglect the dynamic portion. There are certain questions which are being definitely asked. At least 4 to 5 questions are being asked on the dynamic portion. So you have to be very thorough about dynamic portion too. SEZ. What is SEZ? I think I have already shared a PDF regarding SEZ in this particular WhatsApp group. Go and visit that SEZ, take out some important points and note it in a notebook, which you can revise it timely. SEZ is created first time in India in 2000, very important. SEZ first created in 2000, very important. Then SEZ is a geographical region that has different economic laws from the country's economic laws. Why SEZ is being created, special economic zone, why it is being created? It is having different economic laws, different from the country where it is happening. Say for example, SEZ is created in Chennai. In India there are certain economic laws, tax laws, labor laws and custom duty laws. There are different kind of laws are there. But in SEZ, in that particular area, there will be a different kind of a treatment in order to facilitate the foreign direct investment. In order to facilitate foreign direct investment. At present, there are 8 SEZ. There are 8 SEZ and there are some 18 to 20 SEZ which are being proposed, which are not happened till now, but it is in different stages of growth. Then Santa Cruz in Mumbai. First one is Santa Cruz in Mumbai, second Kochi in Kerala, third Kandla and Surat in Gujarat, both in Gujarat, Kandla and Surat. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth is in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, sixth is in Visakhapatnam, then Falta, West Bengal, then Noida, UP. These are the 8 places at present there are SEZ, functional SEZ right now. What is SEZ? Any private, public, joint sector or state government or its agencies can set up SEZ. Who can set SEZ? Any private, any public sector, any joint venture, both private and public as well as state government, they can form SEZ. State government labor laws are applicable for SEZ. What are the laws which are applicable for SEZ? All the state, for example, it is created in Visakhapatnam. Whatever the labor laws are prevailing at Andhra Pradesh, that is going to be implemented in Visakhapatnam SEZ. Whatever labor laws made in Maharashtra SEZ is going to be implemented in Santa Cruz, Mumbai SEZ. Then, I hope the concept is clear to all of you. Then, highest FDI, foreign direct investment. Highest foreign direct investment, there is an index there, it is being published. The first one is Singapore. First one is Singapore, second with in last year's, this is last year's data, 2020. Singapore with 1036 billion dollars, then Mauritius means highest FDI, means total FDI collection to India precisely. This FDI, foreign direct investment coming to India, is from this country. Singapore, 1036 billion dollars India has received till date. It is not a 1 year data. It is a compilation of many years FDI. Then Mauritius, 577 billion dollars. You can say that India is having double taxation avoidance treaty agreement with Mauritius. What is that? That double taxation avoidance treaty is if a particular company is registered in both countries. If a particular company registered in both countries, if they paid taxes in a particular country, say for example in Mauritius, they don't have to pay the taxes again in India. By taking this particular clause help many of the black marketers, black money holders, what they did, they made a round tripping. In economics, something is called as round tripping. What is round tripping? They try to trip their black money without avoiding tax authorities, and they pass through, they set up a dummy companies in Mauritius and entered to India as an FDI and took the benefit and again money. And in order to avoid that, the government of India has made several changes in the double taxation avoidance treaty. There are some clauses are being amended in 2019-20. So it is very important. Netherlands, it is $460 billion, US $298 billion, and Japan it is $277 billion. My trick here is SMNU. SMNU is my trick. I hope all of you are comfortable with my trick. I just make it a fun because it is very easy to remember. Whenever I make this kind of a my trick, it is very funny because whenever you make anything funny, you remember it for a longer duration. Remember this. Whenever you make something funny, try to make everything funny. I always try to, even articles and all that, whenever you do it, you will get the benefit because you can retain it for a longer duration. Then China is the largest recipient of foreign direct investment in 2020 with $163 billion. Remember, this is 1 year data. $163 billion to China, and that is 1 year. And world number one is China with $163 billion. Then US is second largest with $134 billion recipient of FDI. Then ease of doing business index is published by World Bank based on 10 parameters. There are 10 parameters like paying taxes, getting electricity, getting construction permit, then different kind like insolvency. Say for example your business failed, how insolvently quickly you can recover without having so much of a loss. That is doing business index. It is indexing 190 countries. World Bank ease of doing business index, World Bank, published by World Bank, it indexes 190 countries. Currently, which is the country which is having the easiest place to do business? It is New Zealand. New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Denmark. New Zealand is number one, ease of doing business. Second is Singapore, third Hong Kong, fourth Denmark. What is my trick here? NSSD. NSSD what? National School of High Quality Drama. National School of High Quality Drama is my trick in order to remember NSSD. That is New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong and Denmark. Then what is India's position in ease of doing business index? 63. 63. And next, hydrocarbon vision 2025. It is 2025. What is 2025? Vision 25 is to store petroleum products. What is hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbon is petroleum product. So petroleum products India wants to store so that for our energy security. 100% exploration coverage of Indian sedimentary basin 2021. Most of the petroleum is stored in sedimentary basin. Sedimentary basin is what? You know that Bombay High. Bombay High is what? It's a sedimentary basin. Is a submerged sedimentary basin where the exploration happens. So that is sedimentary basin, and India's plan is to store hydrocarbon, petroleum product. Then what is greenfield investment? Investment is of two types. One is greenfield investment, second one is brownfield investment. What is greenfield? Greenfield means totally starting from ground zero. Starting from ground zero, it is called as greenfield. A company will build its own brand new facility from the ground up, from zero, from the scratch. That is called as greenfield. Green means green, totally zero, starting from zero. Then brownfield investment is when happens with a company purchases or leases in an existing facility. What happens in a brownfield? When already some company is there, but I want to lease it, I want to develop something. That is called a brownfield investment. I hope this particular of discussion of economics is clear. This is dynamic portion, very important. Thank you very much.